everybody, welcome back to Majestic Collectibles. I had a few questions about the price tags on the toys and action figures, basically whether I try and remove them or not, and the answer is it depends. You know, if there's a bunch of cheap figures, you know, $10 or less, I don't worry about it because it really doesn't, you know, add that much value to the figure. High-end figures is where you kind of got to make that call because it could make a difference, especially if they stuck the price tag, like, you know, right over somebody's face on the card or something like that. I picked up a couple of cheap ones here. Whoop, there we go. And you can see that one's on the bubble. So when the price tag's on the clear plastic, pretty easy to remove normally. And I might even be able to peel, let's see. Peel most of that off. You can see there's a little residue there, and I will show you how to get rid of that. A tougher one are these. These orange clearance stickers, and they're different shapes, but they're usually that solid orange. Those things I found on a number of different figures, very, very difficult to remove. By far the toughest tag. Usually these tags, little thinner paper, must have not quite as aggressive adhesive, I'm not sure. They usually come off, and these are all on cardboard here, so I'll show you what I do. Now you'll notice there's like creases through this card that, I mean, it's beat up. So I definitely suggest, especially if you've never done this before, do not pick an expensive pricey action figure to try this. Practice on something like this where there's not a lot of value if something goes south. 90% of the time I can get these off. This is a little different though. I'm probably 50-50 on those kind of tags. I just don't know what it is about them. They're just very hard to get off, especially when they're on cardboard. Now one of the things I use to do this, so this is just a can of lighter fluid. Now what it really is it's called naphtha, and it's a solvent. It's been around a really, really, really long time, and there's actually different grades of this fluid. And if you go to a like a home improvement store or paint store, or even the paint department of a department store, you know, like a big box store, you can buy this usually in a quart or a gallon. And that's actually better fluid than this. This fluid for the lighters does not evaporate as quick because, you know, you don't want it to evaporate out of the lighter. The more volatile the fluid, the faster it evaporates. And that's good for these purposes because then it doesn't sit on the card. It doesn't soak into the cardboard, it doesn't stain as readily. So this actually isn't the absolute best fluid for it, but I like it because it's got the spout, you know, and it doesn't take a lot. I'll show you that in just a little bit on that. If you get like a goof off, I can't remember, you know, that other stuff they have. It's the same stuff, except in that they add a little bit of an oil and a citrus scent to it. And the reason is because it does have an odor, so don't do this near flame. I mean, it's lighter fluid, it's, you know, flammable. I don't like using the goof-off type of products because that oil in there that they use to make sure it doesn't evaporate as quick really soaks in and stains cardboard. And sometimes the dyes, you know, it'll have like a kind of some of it has like an orangish or yellowish color on it. So anything with a fluid with a dye, colored dye in it, I would not use either. And the other problem is if you get, if you leave it on too long, even on the white plastic stuff here, it'll kind of cloud it over. It'll give you like a cloudy spot. So, you know, it's not something you want to, you know, experiment with on something valuable. So I'm going to go ahead on this piece, and the sticker was right there, and all it is like 2 drops. I probably couldn't even see that. Sometimes, you know, I've got it at an angle, it's not flat, and then I rub it with my finger, Now here's the other important part of this. This is just a microfiber rag. You can get them anywhere in different colors. These are really awesome. They really pick stuff up. Now you heard that crack, so you do have to be a little gentle. I didn't realize that was that thin of plastic on there. The other thing about microfiber is even if you have just like fingerprints on the bubble or on the card, you don't even need cleaner. Usually you can wipe them off. It picks up oil real well. Now here's another sticker on this one. And this one, yep, that one's on pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put a couple drops on this, and hopefully this will turn out. I don't know if you can see it where it darkened from the fluid. It got just a little bit darker so you can tell it's wet. And all you really have to do, I'm just going to smear that around just a little bit, is let that sit for a little bit, maybe a minute. If you have the really volatile fluid, like from the home improvement stores, you know, it comes in the quart gallon can, you may not, it may take a couple of applications because that evaporates so quick. And I'll just try it here, see if and it did talk long enough. Got a little piece off, and I'm not pecking at this very hard. I've seen people use knives and scissors and everything else, and really, there, I don't know, I'll get my hand out of the way, and it's coming off really well. If I waited just a little longer, it probably would have come off in one piece, and there it is. I'm going to put, there's a little bit of residue right in there. I'm going to put a couple more drops. I'll just smear that around my finger, and you can feel it, you know, it'll catch on the old adhesive. Just do that, and then just wipe it off. And you go, oh, I got one little, I don't know if you can see it on there, just one little spot. I'm going to put this on here. Just one little drop. I'll smear that around again. And there we go. Now the other warning, if you're working on the bubbles, if there's any amber toning, like it gets that yellow, brownish, yucky, smoke colored look to the plastic, leave it alone. Don't even try it, because what's happened then is the plastic gets really, really brittle. You can see this is a nice clear bubble on it. There's no amber toning, so it's flexible. Like when I did this one and it got punched in, it bounces back. Not that I would recommend doing that, but if it's an amber bubble, probably just want to let it go, you know, and just it's the way it is on the thing. Now this one, I don't know how this is going to go, but I picked this one here because it's got both stickers. So if things go as usual, which they never do when you're recording something, this set of stickers will come out fairly easily and this one won't. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to put the fluid on here. This is a double sticker. There's one over another. I don't know if you can quite see it. So it's going to take a little extra soaking, maybe give it a couple, 3 drops. But literally that's it, just a couple. And you might want to do it on a flat surface because I'm kind of dripping there a little bit because I've got it at an angle for the camera. But if you lay it down flat like this, and then it doesn't run all over, it's a lot less messy on the thing. I'm going to wipe that down just a second. Now you might be able to see on this one where it's dark around the edges, but not in the center. And they must use a thicker paper, I don't know, maybe even waxed or coated, but it does not absorb the fluid like these do. These, you can tell it's all wet through the whole thing. This one does not. And I think that's part of the problem with them. And they must use a much more aggressive adhesive on it. So I'm going to start there because that sticker was over that one. And see, I got the edge and then it stopped. And when you feel that tug, you just want to stop because that means it's going to probably take some paper with it. So I'm pulling that corner real gently, very slowly. And I'm going to stop there because it's, whoop, it did pop. Not there yet though. You can see, hopefully, it's got that spider web where it's melted so it's gooey. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this way. I'm going to put a drop right in here, right on that adhesive. And that was way too much because of the angle. I didn't have good control over that, so I didn't need that much. So I went ahead and I just dropped some adhesive right inside there, right on that edge, and we'll let that sit. And while that's soaking, I'm going to try these, see if I can. Yep, and that's coming. I'm not working too hard at this. I'm being very gentle. Yep, and this looks like this will work as usual. This should come off, there you go, as one price tag. Now there is some residue, so you can see if that's coming, if it's wet, and it's not. So I'm not going to scrape on that. I'm going to add just a couple more drops here. Oop. Well, that's coming out quick out of that one. That was way too much again too. It should just need a couple of drops. I'm losing control of the lighter fluid there. Okay, so we're going to try this. We'll let that other one soak, and there it is. And that's really good because I have a lot of trouble getting those things off. And I'm just going to wipe off this excess because I had too much on there, and keep it from staining. Even if it gets a little stained in the cardboard, just let it air dry, okay? It usually come out and dry out okay unless it's really super wet. And I'm just pecking at it real light again, and yep, there it comes. So we'll just get that. There it goes. I got that one. You can see there's just a little bit on there. And I had way too much fluid on here because of that angle. But it's alright. I don't think anything stained on it. So that came out really, really well. And no goo left on there. Sometimes you'll get like a shadow, and there's not much you can do about that. So if you get a shadow on there, it's either been in the sun, and of course you pull the sticker up and that was covered up so it's brighter, or that the glue that was on the sticker is soaked into the cardboard and it's been there a really long time. It'll leave kind of a dark stain. Not much you can do about that either. And you can see this thing, I don't know what happened there. These are really, really beat up. And that's it. Okay, so that one's there. I'll show you this one again. Sticker came off, no residue. That one just peeled off. I just cleaned that one up a little bit. And that's all there is to it. You know, if you're using, like I said, use a good fluid that's really cheap. In fact, if you go and get the lighter fluid, or you get the larger containers from the paint shop or paint department, it's better quality. It's actually a lot cheaper than buying the goof off stuff. That stuff is really expensive per fluid ounce on it compared to this. And this lasts a long time. Even with the amount of action figures I have, you're talking, this has 4.5 ounces in this one, you're talking years. Okay, just probably 2-3 years, maybe even more on that to use, because it just does not take a lot of fluid. So that's it. That's how I get the price stickers off. If you want to see any more videos or questions on how I process or clean or whatever on some of this stuff, you know, just let me know. Leave your question in the comment section. Hit the like, hit subscribe. You guys know the routine. Check out our other unboxing videos, our office renovation videos, sales, what sold on eBay videos. Probably do another one Monday. So you'll see one hopefully in a few days. That's assuming something sells. And that's all I've got for this one. So appreciate your watching, and we'll see you next time.